Hello, it's a lovely good evening. Welcome to Camnet Television News for all those watching around Zambia and across the world. My name is Jeffrey Ziambo to present. Our top stories in the news tonight: the road traffic accident along the Greatest Road kills 11 people. Defense Minister turns to the church as he re-echoes government's stance on homosexuality. Political party CADRES continue terrorizing traders at BANDA MASUAKO KANYAMA market. In international news, Central African Republic top court blocks TOUADERA'S plans for constitutional change. And in sports news, CHIPOLOPOLO shift focus to Monday game after one new loss.
From time immemorial, we have had different types of lighting options, from those that can burn down our investments in minutes to those that dig holes in our pockets due to constant replacement and huge consumption of our ZESCO units. Savenda Electric introduces the new and advanced electric bulb with cutting-edge technology of LED that has low power consumption, gives out bright white light, and lasts up to 25,000 hours. Savenda Electric manufactures all types of LED light, like plastic LED fluorescent tubes, down lights, ceiling lights, outdoor fittings, and solar street lights made to customer specifications. Let's live on the bright side of life by choosing the wide range of Savenda electric lighting solutions that are available in all leading stores and supermarkets countrywide. For orders, call 0962-642-490 or email jnbanda@savenda.com or pchabula@savenda.com.
Water is life. Each drop counts and each must be cherished. Our tried and tested product meets all international standards. With our smart drip technology, we aim to deliver precision irrigation designed to reduce blockage and wastage, ensuring a high yield. RenGlow, your smart irrigation partner.
Another news in detail. Market traders at Banda MASUAKO market in Kanyama constituency have bemoaned poor leadership at the market, stating that this has resulted in continued illegal collection of levies by political party cadres. In interviews with Camnet News, the traders allege that they are charged 5 kwacha each day by political party cadres from the United Party for National Development (UPND), who say the money is for depositing of waste at the market, adding that the said dumping site, however, is never attended to. Meanwhile, UPND Kanyama Ward 13 Councillor Leonard Chelo says plans to put up a proper leadership structure at the market are ongoing. More in this report.
Operations to flush out political cadres from markets in Zambia has been intense in major markets in Lusaka over the past few months, as it is said that these engaged in illegal collection of levies meant for local authorities. While this has been the case, traders at smaller markets, especially those located in communities, feel that they have now become a target as they are rarely visited by authorities. This is the case in Banda MASUAKO market of Kanyama constituency in Lusaka, where the traders allege that cadres from the ruling party charge them 5 kwacha per day, claiming that it is for maintaining sanity at the market, but are never given receipts. They also allege that the market has no proper leadership structure, leading to illegal activities thriving.
But when I come back, vacanso ndi wazambo lipirisa ma market. That's what the president wanted to promise. But it was visira. Bantu wakati kumenyewa ma market. Different vintu vavichitika ni vambiri maningi ma market. Maona ka? So stizi wa president ngawazati ganizira bwanje because vanakamba no, they'll bring vacanso. So vacanso tukalikuwa because up this time sivaoneka. Pede valipira ma 5 kwacha. Ero maona kuti business niyo vuta hapa. This time business niyo vuta. Valipisa pede 5 kwacha.
Kuzesco tenzopeleka every month tenzopeleka almost 7,000. Manja aba benzopeleka 300, 3 pin. So yapezeka kuti babazesco bill just bwanje yakula. So after yakula manje ndi kutiletera prepaid. So manje after ma confusion chairman wamenenze lipo na chairman okonga pomzake winangu anataba anachoka market then manasanka na chairman winangu kumvika ati benzomenyana chifukwa cha secretary na chairman winango, so wanaenda balembesana ku polisi. After balembesana ku polisi, winango anataba, winango aliko baoneka. So by this time market mulibena business market inaonongeka.
Meanwhile, a human rights activist within the community, Francis Kamwena, has also spoken out.
I am saying what Honorable Garin Kombo did is 100%. The government doesn't allow cadres. Police should come in now even to protect the people here in this market. We are appealing to government. Our government, UPND. The PF are now laughing at us because we are telling them we never wanted them because of what used to happen. So right now they are laughing at us now. People tend up to go and vote for UPND. They are laughing at us. So we want leaders, our MP in KANYAMA constituency, our councillor, we want him to come and address these issues.
In a phone interview, UPND KANYAMA Ward 13 Councillor Leonard Chelo says he will engage market leaders on the way forward. The traders have, however, called for sanity at the market, urging the Lusaka City Council to investigate the happenings. Zipporah Mshala, Camnet News, Lusaka.
Mtendere Ward 34 Councillor Boniface Chibeka is hopeful that Teddy Mwanza, a 3-year-old boy in his ward with an imperforate anus, will start receiving support from government following a decision to register him on the social cash transfer program. Mr. Chibeka says the boy's situation is stressful to the family, hence the move to place him on government program under the vulnerable so that he can be accessing assistance. Meanwhile, Grace Mwanza, mother to the boy, who says she was told that her son's blood levels need to be boosted before he can be operated on. However, the family still faces difficulties in supplying the needed food requirements for the boy due to lack of funds. More in this report.
Seems hope has knocked on the door of little Teddy Mwanza, a 3-year-old boy of Lusaka's Kadikiliki compound, born with an imperforate anus, as the civic leader in the area confirms that the child has been registered on a government program that is meant to support vulnerable children. Recently discharged from the hospital and told by medical doctors at the University Teaching Hospital, the Children's Hospital, that his mother should provide the required diet for him to boost his blood levels before he can undergo another operation. His mother, however, says at the current moment, things are hard for the family.
Ninaenda ku hospital apa bananyuza kuti mwana afunikira kumufeedinga kuti ankale fit, then kufunikira na kumubooster blood, kumugulira ko vama emapu votosiyana twana ma vitamins kuti mwana apikinge fast kuti bamuchibaka muchitopaleti. So manje kupezeka kaili futhi kuti uvisakile vivuta ndrama nazo zavuta kaili sinisebenza ninkala chabe sinigulisa manje ndrama nzazipeza kuti ndiye apa pamene so apolo college nakangiwa kuti ni mudyese so nacho kokongola kashuga ka 5 kwa cha mushopu kuti ni mupangire.
Teddy's condition is a birth defect that happens as an unborn baby is developing during pregnancy, meaning one has an improper developed anus and therefore cannot pass waste normally from his rectum out of their body. Doctors made a temporary measure by making an opening on his stomach to enable him pass waste. On the 20th of October 2022, he needs to undergo surgery, but if his blood levels are still low and does not feed on the required diet, his operation may delay.
Tanangai amene bakamba ya CDF simunga nitandizeko munjira bwanji ya CDF. So banakamba kuti munga iwe sibanga kupase ndrama weka. Anesi munkaleka group na jamanje ma group nzacho sakuti ne kuli be ma group yena ngoye munga ni squeezing eko kuli beve. So bananyuza ati iya ikwamineko nishikuli be bantu bamene ongasakire kuti mukwaniteni manje bantu kuno bavuta bakamba kuti va CDF ibini vovuta ni process itali maningi kuti mukaboya nkiwa ni patali then manje muone na mwana problem ali nayo hii. Then manje inenifuna fast kuti nipezeko bonitandiza olowayambako ka business utandiza ko mwana kuchira opempa pempa.
However, Mtendere Ward 34 Councillor Boniface Chibeka says he is hopeful that the boy will start receiving support from the government following a decision to register him under a government program for vulnerable people.
She's somebody who has been coming to my office, and I've been helping her even in my personal pocket. Yes, but one thing which is attainable is to put on government program, which even, of course, her issue is quite is unique, but they are all described under vulnerable people. And so those vulnerable people, there's a program from government which they are giving them. And that is what I made sure that he should be captured. This empowerment in terms of grants and loans, I even told her that they have rules and guidelines. You cannot be given as an individual. I told her to form a cooperative or a group or an organized group with other colleagues so that they can become registered and benefit from such.
Despite having such a condition, his mother still hopes that a beloved son will be well one day. Miriam Kaimba, reporting for Camnet TV News.
And in the twist of events, a 5-year-old girl of Lusaka's Apollo area was first reported to be physically abused by her 44-year-old grandmother, was not only assaulted but defiled too. The minor was reported to only have been physically assaulted by her grandmother. The minor of Lusaka's KANYAMA compound is said to have been defiled where she was kept. However, the person who allegedly committed the act is not yet known, and no arrest in relation to the defilement has been made. Meanwhile, police spokesperson Ray Hamonga confirms her case is currently under the National Prosecutions Authority and it will be taken to court soon following an arrest that was made on her grandmother. More in this report.
This 5-year-old minor of Lusaka's Apollo area featured on Camnet TV on the 10th of September 2022 when a 44-year-old grandmother, Martha Moyo, from her father's side, was reported of having allegedly assaulted her. Her reason was that the minor vomited the food she was given after eating. After this interview, Miss Moyo was then arrested and detained at KANYAMA police station on child assault charges. Zambia police spokesperson Ray Hamonga confirmed of the case being forwarded to the National Prosecution Authority on the 21st of September 2022. In a surprising turn of event, it has been discovered that the minor was not only physically assaulted but sexually abused. Her grandmother from her mother's side now explains to Camnet TV of how she later learned that the child was defiled too.
Mchecking manje ku after banuza kuti mwana mchecking yeni manje kwa mene kwenza unkala kuva neba. So after kumchecking manje mwana ndio pesa zona mwana ukanonongeka na bwana itakona ndaita nakona bakulu ba mai palini. Mayo bwana mchecking zona ine niko na bana batu mwana kumwena lili awe simwa mwene mwana funi konkalira. Ndipo nabwira ba mai manje kwamba chia uyu mwana mwa bantu nzo muyuzinga. Ndipo natumira ba polisi mverani venta pesa futi ku mwana uyu. Ku private party school mushe sindi mwene kufunika kunkalira. I think mwana nzo muyuzinga. Ndiye mwenda nyamukira manje wa polisi nokamba tikansi bwerano ku clinic mumpeleke ku clinic ba doctor mchecking. Ndiye mwenda mpelekera zona wa doctor kumchecking azona mwana anapeza kati mwana benze kumuyuzinga. Ndiye mwene bana pezera ba doctor paka basaina vonsi. So binasala manje kutona kamba tie ndani mkaenda isediza kutumirani phone vinufunika vitinya mulofu tino wa polisi vende ku polisi. So ndiye mwene nabwerera manje pano niembekeza manje atizaka kuitana nchapedo wenda ku court.
The most unfortunate part is that her defiler is not yet known and has not been arrested. All that is alleged is that the incident also occurred the same time she was living with Miss Moyo in KANYAMA compound. Human Rights Commission talks about the need to have strong legal protection for children, stating that with the recent Child Court Bill, much protection will be given to them.
is to ensure that there's a lot of education that should be done among parents and also guardians, because most of the violations that happen to children happen within their homes, within communities, sometimes by close family members, sometimes by parents, sometimes by guardians, and that should be redressed through counseling and guidance, but also effective enforcement of the law where that happens.
Messi Chanda, not her real name, says she wants to be a soldier when she completes her school. However, still recalls the horrific scenario she underwent. No counseling is being offered to the child. Miriam Kaimba, reporting for Camnet TV News.
A fatal road accident has been recorded in Lusaka along Great East Road Saturday morning, leading to the loss of 11 lives, with 10 dying on the spot, while one died at Levi Mwanawasa Hospital. According to eyewitnesses spoken to by Camnet News, this happened when the driver of a minibus driving town-bound from Kaunda Square in Lusaka entered a wrong lane in an attempt to reverse and pick up a customer, hence colliding with an oncoming truck belonging to the Zambia National Service, ZNS. And government chief spokesperson Chushika Sanda says government is distressed over the accident that occurred during the morning involving a minibus and a Zambia National Service ZNS truck. Meanwhile, Zambia Police spokesperson Ray Hamonga says 8 bodies of the deceased have been deposited at the University Teaching Hospital UTH mortuary, while 3 at Levi Mwanawasa Hospital mortuary awaiting identification, postmortem and burial. More in this report.
This is the scene of a tragic road accident that occurred Saturday morning at around 6 hours along Great East Road in Lusaka, near the main gate of the University of Zambia, leading to 11 lives being lost. This comes a few days after 23 lives were lost in similar circumstances in Kaputa district of Northern Province on Monday, 19 September 2022. Eyewitnesses have told Camnet News that the accident happened when the driver of a public service Toyota Hiace minibus went on the wrong lane in an attempt to drive back and pick up a passenger, hence colliding with an oncoming Zambia National Service ZNS truck.
Penza fika hapa paunza. Enza ona huku kwenze muntu ezofuna kwenda town. So eve after ona muntu huku. Ndiye penza afuno chaka yutani paja pakona paja. Afuno chaka yutani kubwera kuno kutatenga uyu muntu ezofuna kwenda wao ku side. So penza fika hapa nishuku kubwera i truck ya ZNS nshanyamula excavator pamwamba. So mwenza yanyamula excavator after iwona kuja windani wa truck after muona ezofuna mulewa sana kwanise kuti amulewe kai nishangera kudala afuno tenga uyu muntu ezo. So ndiye penza amenyera ku side kwake kuja kuli driver kuja
wajubika bakati pamuntu matumbo wonse nzo dobera mu drainage penza brad mutu kuduka wenango. So apa ma traffic lights apa sali musha apa ma traffic lights zafunga kaya konzi apa pantu apa spali musha pangala ma accident ambiri maningi nesanzira parusha house apa nima tamba ma accident amina mashitika maningi apa
sanga choke muleni yakuja boya joine mulira nani iwe ya ukwi. That's why apaisa vanhu ayona matamba minibus driver muzisi not at yo urefu endalama abantu kupoza kwa mano ku bantu omuremi tamwimya manani kane tamwimya fishimbi nangushani. So waona apaisha mwabaka erioko.
According to Zambia Police spokesperson Ray Hamonga, the minibus driver is among those dead.
The accident involved a male driver, warrant officer class 2, by the name of Spoon, who was driving a Zambia National Service low-bed truck registration number ZNS 666F from west to east, whose damage was the front part, which was extensively damaged, and the driver died on the spot. Also involved was a non-male driver who was driving a Toyota Hiace registration number ARB 2617 from the direction of east to west, which had 14 passengers on board. 9 passengers from the public service vehicle sustained fatal injuries, while 5 suspect passengers sustained serious injuries or are admitted at Levi Mwanawasa Hospital. The driver of the minibus is among the dead, comprising of 7 males and 5 females. The minibus was extensively damaged. The 8 bodies of the deceased have been deposited in University Teaching Hospital mortuary, while 3 are at Levi Mwanawasa Hospital mortuary awaiting identification, postmortem and burial.
Meanwhile, Former Transport and Communications Minister under the Movement for Multi-Party Democracy MMD government, William Harrington, says there is need to introduce reasonable traffic fines to deter drivers from road traffic violations.
As it is now, the traffic fines are exorbitant and they are a recipe for corruption. And I've always said so, because if the traffic fines are too high, you find that there's corruption between the motorist and the traffic officers. And by increasing them, it only increases corruption and the chances of corruption taking place between traffic police and the motorists.
By broadcast time, the accident scene was still being cleared, with many onlookers watching on in shock, urging drivers to exercise extra caution on the road. Zipporah Mshala, Camnet News, Lusaka.
Defense Minister Ambrose Lufuma has advised the church to speak unity and not spread messages of divisiveness in nature. Speaking at Brentwood Seventh-day Adventist Church Meet the Community service, Mr. Lufuma notes the topic that has taken center stage on homosexuality and accusations that government is supporting the unnatural acts are divisive and untrue, adding that the church should help the flock toward the right direction. The minister notes that President Hichilema is categorical on this, adding that the laws of Zambia and its stance as a Christian nation does not permit such acts. Meanwhile, Church Development Director Silas Chabala says the church will continue to intercede for government so that it delivers upon that which is responsive to the needs of the people countrywide. More in this report.
The past 1 month has seen the use of the word homosexual dominate, especially on social media platforms in Zambia. Others say government's failure to publicly denounce these unnatural acts, according to Zambia's constitution and the country's stance on Christianity, is tantamount to supporting the acts. Zambia's Republican Constitution preamble as a Christian nation means that anything that is condemned in the Bible should not be a preserve for any Christian, homosexuality inclusive. This topic keeps coming up even when the Republican President Hakainde Hichilema publicly denounced homosexuality some months ago, forcing government officials taking a step in clarifying the matter. Saturday, Minister in charge of Defense Ambrose Lufuma attended a service at Brentwood Seventh-day Adventist Church in Lusaka, where he called on the church to help unite the country.
We should concentrate more and more on pertinent and substantive issues other than on superfluous issues. Issues such as unity and peace, welfare, prosperity of our people, employment of the army of the unemployed youth, poverty and reduction thereof, peace and tranquility are material and should be top on the agenda and should therefore be addressed with the agency they fully deserve. Morality is an integral and inescapable duty and responsibility of the church.
The minister took time to re-echo the United Party for National Development Administration stance on LGBTQ rights.
I have heard sections of our community, not excluding the church, saying the new government supports and promotes lesbian and gay rights. And yet these churches and sections of our society are aware of the New Dawn government's unequivocal stance on the issue, and that we do not support nor promote lesbian or gay rights, as this is for simple reasons. And these simple reasons are: one, it's against the laws of the Republic of Zambia, the laws of the land. It is against our African or Zambian culture and tradition. It is against the order of nature. And it is against the teaching, most importantly, the teachings of the Bible and Christian values and beliefs.
Meanwhile, the church has reaffirmed its commitment to uniting the country and praying for the government of the day.
The church has a unique God-given role, and this is in regard to its mandate to preach the gospel. Our role, therefore, is apolitical, meaning we do not indulge in partisan politics or propagate politics. Rather, we play a role of upholding the mandate of the God-given leadership by praying for them and collaborating with them from our dimension as a spiritual movement.
Sharon Kalimbula, Camnet News, Lusaka.
Western Province Minister Kapelo Mbangweta says the forthcoming Tourism and Investment Expo, scheduled to take place on the 15th of October 2022, will enhance economic employment opportunities for the locals in the province. In an exclusive interview with Camnet TV, Mr. Mbangweta says the significance of the expo is to expose the provincial potential to the potential investors. He has reiterated that the expo is also intended to promote homegrown entrepreneurship and enhance market linkages in order to boost and sustain local business in the province. Mr. Mbangweta has further explained that the expo will not only promote and enhance entrepreneurship, but help reduce poverty levels in the province, which currently stands at 82.2%, making the region the poorest in the country.
It brings a lot of opportunities. First of all, like I indicated, to make the expo focused, what was required was to do investment profiles for the 16 districts. Okay, an investment profile is what indicates what an investor can do in a particular locality. Okay, so if that was the case, for example, we would say the expo is successful depending on the number of deals which are going to be struck between the suppliers and the buyers of items. Okay, you could have a hardware manufacturer. He goes to Hmong to attend the expo. He hooks up with somebody who has a hardware and sells those things. They start collaborating. Okay. 2, you can have a particular project, for example, to build a hospital. You are going to create a facility which is not there, but by putting up that facility, you are bringing employment.
This is Camnet Television News. We'll take a break. We'll be back with more news after this break.
In our quest to serve nations and develop Africa, Savenda is investing in the agriculture sector so as to produce supply for both local and international markets, housing over 12,000 pullets that are nurtured and fed with our locally made stock feed that comes from our own locally grown maize and soya beans, all processed from our recently installed milling and mixing plant. Our over 95,000 layers have an output capacity of over 1,500 trays of fresh eggs per day that are carefully selected and packaged for all the leading stores and supermarkets nationwide. Our greenhouses are fitted with the latest irrigation system, and the seedlings are nurtured to ensure only healthy plants reach the fields. With our deliberate planting schedule, we are better placed to supply constantly without interruption, thus reliable. Savenda Farms is also changing lives of its dedicated workforce drawn from the local community and beyond. So the next time you think fresh and green, think Savenda Farms.
Your skin is the biggest muscle in your body. That's why we make sure that Oracle is #1 when it comes to taking care of your precious skin. Oracle Pure Petroleum Jelly and Glycerin soothes, moisturizes and keeps your skin perfect. Oracle Pure Petroleum products for that perfect skin.
For immediate coverage of any breaking or latest news in Zambia and around the world on Camnet Television, call the numbers on your screen. Camnet Television, bringing to your screens fair news, impartial news, credible and reliable news all the time. Get the whole truth on Camnet World News. Television, not just another channel.
Welcome back. We'll continue with the news. Katumbora constituency member of parliament Clement Andeleke says parliamentarians are trying to push for a law which will see to it that the allowances given to councillors are improved, stating that their conditions of service are currently deplorable. In an interview, Mr. Andeleke, who is also chairperson of the Parliamentary Committee on Legal Affairs, says this has been demotivating to the councillors who are key stakeholders in development. Named councillors recently came to Camnet News lamenting that allowances for the civic leaders currently stand at 3,000 kwacha per month, which does not coordinate with the workload they take on. They have been advocating for an increase, stating that people expect them to perform at their optimum levels at the grassroots.
The councillors and other institutions have complained about the disparities in the conditions of service. Yes, indeed, there are very serious disparities in the condition of service. I'll tell you that councillors only get sitting allowance. The coming of the Emoluments Commission under the Constitution of Zambia, Amendment Act number 2 of 2016, where that institution called the Emoluments Commission is provided for, is a very good and progressive idea. And the Emoluments Bill is currently being considered. It has passed through the first stage, it has passed through the committee stage. Now, what that means, it has also gone through the report stage. What that means to the people of Zambia is that we are now going to have one institution that is going to look at the condition of service for all public officers. So the coming of that particular law will help the conditions for judges to be looked at, conditions for members of parliament to be looked at by one institution, and all those who are public officers to be looked at by one institution.
National Restoration Party NAREP Deputy Secretary General Martin Mulenga has backed calls by the Zambia Center for Inter-Party Dialogue, ZCID, for government to prioritize cleaning up the Republican Constitution. Mr. Mulenga has stressed the need for constitutional reforms, stating that many clauses of the Constitution require clarity. He says Zambia squandered an opportunity of constitutional reforms through the infamous Bill 10 because the Patriotic Front government took it with the approach of looking at things that would favor them at that time, and its process was not consultative.
Candidate probably resigns once in the process of wanting to contest the elections, and they resign. You find that it becomes a very costly exercise for the government, because one need now, the ECZ rather will need to start the whole process again, because an individual that feels they're not ready probably to contest those elections. We need to have remedies to such kind of a thing, because we can have a situation where we cannot have an election because probably every set of people that will go for interviews or go for filing in of nomination at any given time, they'll pull out, and we can have nominations, I would say, in perpetuity. So these are things that we need to look at. One of the things that we need to look at. So their call to have constitutional reforms is a right call.
KANYAMA constituency member of parliament Monty Chinkoli says drainage construction has been earmarked in the constituency before the onset of the next rainy season to solve the excessive flooding that the area experiences. In an interview, Mr. Chinkoli notes that the constituency has since time immemorial had this challenge, which has remained unresolved, hence risking the spread of diseases due to overall poor sanitation caused by flooding. Meanwhile, the lawmaker adds that key to bringing development in one of the poorest communities in Zambia is to solve pressing issues such as erratic water supply. He says all this has been earmarked under the Constituency Development Fund, CDF.
Is growing so large, and we realize that the infrastructure still remains where it is, of which in terms of development that may not come well. What challenges in terms of floods anytime soon when we start Kanyama will be flooded into as per tradition. We've asked the council, trust council, to give us through the engineers to give us a BOQ on how much is required, to put tar on most of the roads that in Kanyama, and they have come up with a 111 kilometer stretch of roads that needs to be done, and we asked to probably go for about 290 million to catch up for. But those are some of the challenges that we are having. Security-wise, I'm still going back. It's like the first meeting and the second meeting that we had with the police, is not yielding much fruit. I'll go back and speak with the officer in charge, and probably, if anything, we come together as the unity of all police officers. Of course, I know they will look at supervisors. Then we'll come and sit down and see how best we can help of Kanyama.
Government, with support from the World Food Programme and PayGo, has held a number of workshops countrywide to train agriculture staff in market access information. Facilitator Joseph Mbozi says market access information remains key in the value chain. However, farmers have lagged behind in market access information. Mr. Mbozi said farmers should start using the Mano app, which is fundamental in market access information. He said the Mano app is created in a way that it makes trading easy with no issues of fraud, and that it is applicable with all the 3 mobile networks currently operating in Zambia. Mr. Mbozi says it is imperative for farmers to understand that most of the things are being digitalized to make life easy for the small-scale farmers. He has since called on district marketing development officers to ensure that they induct farmers on the use of the Mano app, adding that farmers can upload the produce they have, while other farmers countrywide will be able to view what is on the market.
Aggregation reduces transaction costs, creates a favorable negotiation position, creates good profit margins, and makes it easier to meet market demand. It is against this background that government, with support from World Food Programme and PayGo, have commenced a Trainer of Trainers workshop aimed at training agriculture staff in market access information to keep them abreast with the information. And government wants this information to get to the farmers.
I think you cannot overemphasize the fact that marketing access is a beginning and the end part of our value chain in our crop production. Marketing department, in the sense that the ones that are supposed to spearhead the campaign for marketing information to our farmers.
And Trainer says farmers should make use of the Mano app to have access to markets in the comfort of their homes.
These are officers from the agribusiness department who will be expected to go into the camps in their various districts to go and train the actual camp extension officers and their BOs to actually put out the market access kit that has been developed by World Food Programme in collaboration with the Ministry of Agriculture. This live living app is a game changer in that marketing is brought closer to the doorstep of the farmer. So this app is there to come and help the farmers in real time, and it's an app that is, I think, applicable on almost all the 3 networks that we have countrywide. The Mano app is it has been simplified and able to interact with anyone regardless of their educational standing in society.
Trainees promise to take the message to the intended beneficiaries in this regard, the farmers.
We were also inducted to how we can be able to use the Mano virtual app. This application basically brings the buyers and sellers on one platform. We are talking about digitalizing the agricultural sector, and this app, in terms of marketing, is very timely because most of the farmers will be inducted on how they can be able to use this application, and this means that farmers in the Kawe district, they can be able to sell their produce to farmers and buyers who are probably in Lusaka and any other far places.
Agribusiness is one of the areas of interest in supporting smallholder agriculture. The government plans to continue to significantly support market access and improvement of associated infrastructure, with the aim of increasing smallholder farmer production, productivity, and income-earning capacity through access to lucrative and sustainable markets. Helen Whitty reporting from Kabwe, Central Province.
This is Camnet Television News. We'll take our second and final break. We'll be back with international and sports news.
You know I can take her a bit.
Yes, my dear.
I was thinking of getting you a Bugatti on your birthday.
Really?
I'm quiet. My name is Yana.
Don't worry, my dear. That's why there is insurance.
Insurance?
You read me?
Not just any kind of insurance, but Savenda General Insurance, a company that offers superior customer service, highly professional and dedicated staff. We are not just any insurance company, but an insurance company that actually pays our claims. We cover, among others, fire, marine, aviation, engineering, agriculture, motor vehicle, and miscellaneous insurance. So, live life to the full, knowing that Savenda General Insurance has got you covered. Savenda General Insurance. Insurance excellence.
Water is life. Each drop counts and each must be cherished. Our tried and tested product meets all international standards. With our smart drip technology, we aim to deliver precision irrigation designed to reduce blockage and wastage, ensuring a high yield. RenGlow, your smart irrigation partner.
In international news, the Central African Republic's top court has cancelled plans for a committee to rewrite the constitution. It marks a setback for President Faustin Archange Touadera, who was thought to be seeking a third term in office. Lawyers made the announcement on Friday. President of the Central African Bar Association, Emeo Bizon, said the bar's fight is to guarantee the independence of justice. The court insisted a referendum on changing the constitution could be triggered by the president, but he could not act against the oath he had taken when elected in 2020, pledging he would not attempt to change the number and length of his mandates. In other news, Belgian filmmaker Thierry Michel is being sued in the Democratic Republic of Congo by a documentary-making partnership, the Balufu brothers. For more in international news, here's a roundup.
The Central African Republic's top court has cancelled plans for a committee to rewrite the constitution. It marks a setback for President Faustin Archange Touadera, who was thought to be seeking a third term in office. Lawyers made the announcement on Friday. The bar's fight is to guarantee the independence of justice, he says. That the judges can make their decisions with regard only to the law without any pressure from either side. The court said a referendum on changing the constitution could be triggered by the president, but he couldn't act against the oath he'd taken when elected in 2020, pledging he wouldn't change the number and length of his mandates. I do not believe for a moment that the public authorities can take the risk of going against the court decision, he says. That would be confirming what we are saying here, that is to say, the annihilation of judiciary power. The 65-year-old president was first elected in 2016, then re-elected in 2020. But on August the 27th, demonstrators took to the streets of the capital Bangui against changing the constitution. Equatorial Guinea's president, Teodoro Obiang Nguema Mbasogo, who's ruled the country for 43 years, has said he'll be standing again in November's elections. His son and Vice President Theodore Ongema Obiang Mang made the announcement on Twitter on Friday, saying it was because of his charisma, his leadership and his political experience. Obiang's Democratic Party of Equatorial Guinea holds 99 of the 100 seats in the outgoing Lower House of Parliament and all 70 of the Senate seats. Over the years, the country has become increasingly dependent on oil and gas, which makes up around 75% of revenue, which is mostly in the hands of a small number of people. There had been speculation that Obiang's son may be selected as the party's candidate, but Friday's announcement confirmed the president would be seeking to extend his unrivaled rule.
Tout cet espace, c'est Africa 24, tout cet étage.
Belgian filmmaker Thierry Michel is being sued in the Democratic Republic of Congo by documentary makers the Balufu brothers. Gilbert Balufu Mbaye and Balufu Makupo Kanyinda accuse Michel of plagiarizing their 2015 film The Silence of Forgotten Crimes. What he has done is plagiarism, he says. Plagiarism is making the same thing as someone else. He used the same narrative structure as well as the technical cutting and even the synopsis. Michel's 2021 film Empire of Silence tells the story of war crimes in DRC over 2 decades, but the Balufu brothers have claimed there could be as many as 80 elements of comparison with their film. We asked for the comparison of the 2 films. From the comparison, we can remove the doubt. We can see who is right and who is wrong. But Thierry Michel does not want to put the film at the disposal of justice, so it is already an admission of guilt. In his film, Michel suggests war criminals are more likely to be rewarded than convicted and calls for an end to impunity. He denies the accusations and says it's an attack on freedom. The objective is to ban the film, to seize it and to sentence me and the producer to 1 to 5 years in prison. Of course, this film is disturbing. There are many people that this film disturbs who are in positions that they may have acquired through crimes, predation. Independent analysis shows there are only 4 images common to both films, but the Belgian filmmaker faces up to 5 years in prison in the DRC if found guilty.
Let's have some sports news. And in sports news tonight, the Zambia men's senior national team dusted off Friday's 1-0 loss to the Eagles of Mali and had a recovery session at the Modibo Keita Stadium. With the final FIFA International friendly match looming on Monday, the lads have shifted focus to the final match where they will be aiming to end strong. Mali's 1-0 victory has heightened interest in the Eagles and will be expected to have a full house at the Stade du 26 Mars on Monday. Zambia is in Bamako for 2 international friendly matches against a full-strength Mali side, with the first match ending 1-0 in favor of the host. Meanwhile, Camnet Stars football team has lost by 2-1 against Happy Hearts team. The match was being played under Division 2 Week 5 fixtures at Cooperative College grounds in Baoleni area. The game went on halftime at 0 goals from both teams. The second half saw Happy Hearts player Godfrey Milopi scoring, while Camnet Stars Mwila scored for the team to make it 2-1 at the end of the game.
players. They executed the instructions very well. And in the first half, we had chances, but we failed to utilize the chances that we have. It was a very competitive match. Kudos to Camnet. They gave us a very competitive match. This is our first win in the league this season. We have lost some games, so it's a huge motivation to the players going forward.
So this game was very tough. Besides facing the one stop in the league. So as you can see, we are below the league, and so it was a challenging game. And as for us as a team, we made sure that we should just stick to our philosophy, playing the ball and making it easy. So as we look forward to the second game, which is on Wednesday, we are just looking for the 3 points, maximum points.
Otherwise, the game we had today was a very difficult game for us. We had a bit of a problem in terms of the pitch itself, and for the boys to come up, it became so difficult. So we tried to arrange and make some changes here and there, but things couldn't work out to our side. For it was a different day and a different ball altogether. But having lost this game, we're not looking down, but we've just been given a chance to go back to the drawing board so that we can have the checks and balances, so we can know where to start from in the next game that we're going to have. But all this, we all thank God that though it's not the result that we wanted, but we say thank you to the Lord, for He gave us the strength to carry on and forge ahead.
That football story brings us to the end of our news, but before we go, the top stories once again. Road traffic accident kills 11 people and 10 people on the spot along Great East Road. Defense Minister turns to the church as he recalls government's stance on homosexuality. Political party cadres continue terrorizing at BANDA, MASUAKO, KANYAMA market. In international news, Central African Republic top court blocks TOUADERA'S plans for constitutional change. And in sports news, CHIPOLOPOLO shift focus to Monday game after 1-0 loss. We'll now look at the Camnet of the day, which is coming from the Hebrews 10 verse 35 to 36. Do not throw away your confidence, it will be richly rewarded. You need to preserve so that you need to persevere, so that when you have done the will of God, you will receive what He has promised. Thank you once again for watching the news. I'm Jeffrey Ziambo. Bye-bye.